EQ, right, is not just about being calm. It's not about being away with the fairies. It's about knowing how to hold yourself when shit hits the fan. I'm Sam Evans, and I'm coming to you on my brand new YouTube channel where I'm going to give you the exact information that's going to help you understand what EQ really is. These are going to be unedited, unfiltered, and unshakably the truth that comes from within. I'm a big believer in God, so I have asked the Holy Spirit to guide me in this moment so I can make sure that I give you the right information. So let's talk about EQ. Now, EQ, what that means is emotional quotient. It's a way of measuring your emotional intelligence. Because here's the truth that a lot of people talk about it, don't you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you feel like a lot of people talk about it, but you have no idea what it actually means? Well, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to explain to you exactly what it means and also why it's so important to measure your EQ, your emotional intelligence. Okay, so I think the best way to describe it is to understand my journey when it comes to EQ. Now, first and foremost, this is a brand new channel, so please make sure you press subscribe because the more people know about the truth about EQ, the better it is for the world. That's my purpose, that's my mission, to speak the truth, and that is all I ever wanted to do. Now, when I first came across emotional intelligence, I thought, oh, this is a fancy word. What does it even mean? I did my first training back in 2018. I must have watched that about 10 times on repeat because I didn't understand what it meant. All I know is that I had my very first EQ report. It was a reading. I had to answer a few questions and the system created a report. And this report basically picked up on the four areas of emotional intelligence, which I'm sure you're familiar with. So you have your self-awareness, being aware of yourself, self-regulation, how you regulate yourself, social awareness, being aware of people outside of you, and social regulation, how you regulate yourself in situations, right? So those are the four pillars. Motivation comes in there as well. Now, there's a lot of people that talk about EQ. There's obviously like Daniel Goleman, he's created incredible information. But here's the thing I feel that a lot of people use this as a fancy coaching jargon word, but actually it's not. EQ is the foundation to everything, to your wealth, your health, your love life, your fitness, your success, your results. It's all going to come down to EQ. Now, we're not born with EQ, we're not born with it. So when I first had my reading, it basically said that my social awareness, my self awareness and regulation was very, very low, less than 50%. Now my social awareness was really high. And then the social regulation was very low. So I wasn't great at regulating myself or around other people, but I'm really aware of other people. Now I thought, brilliant, I've got a high result. I think it was like 79% out of 100. And I looked at it and I was like, yay, something's high. And so the coach at the time said to me, basically, Sam, your empathy is really high. Your empathy is really high. I was like, okay, great. What does that mean? Your empathy is really high. How are you when it comes to charging? How are you when it comes to offering your prices, increasing your pricing? And I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Ah, it's okay. I let them off. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Pay me later. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And I used to just give and give and give and give and give. This is actually a very big issue with a lot of people because you feel like you need to please other people to get the results that you want. This is not CEO mindset. This is not EQ mastery. This is basically doing things for others more than you're doing it for yourself. When you are looking at your emotional intelligence, what you have to do is you've got to look at the most important ways to hold yourself so your nervous system does not collapse when it comes to charging money. Your nervous system does not collapse when you are charging your prices. Your nervous system is fueled by needing to grow and find a solution rather than spiraling into a negative dark hole. Because I built my entire business through EQ mastery. So when I'm talking about EQ mastery, what I mean is that it's not just about going, oh, I know my emotions. I'm very aware of how I'm feeling. Not to take the piss right here, but that's just a very small glimpse How it basically works is first, for example, I will give you a situation. Right. For example, a client has decided to no longer pay me. Yes, this has happened to me. So I have given and given and given and given and given. I've given an absolute extended long payment plan and I've provided and provided and provided. And so what's happened is she's decided that she's no longer going to pay me. Now, instantly, I'm aware of how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like shit. This she's fucking out of order. She's let me down. Let's just be real. We all feel those emotions. Right. I need to regulate myself. Okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to take some time out for myself and I'm going to make sure that I'm in my body and not in my head. I'll go and do some techniques on myself. Okay, so let's talk about how I'm going to handle this situation. This is not about me, this is about her. So, how am I going to hold myself when I'm having this conversation with her? I'm just going to be honest and speak freely with respect to her without judgment. What happened after that? She completely disappeared. How did I feel after that? I learnt my lesson. What was the lesson? Actually, do not ever do long extended payment plans for women who struggle with money. I am no longer here going to be serving people who have financial difficulties. If you have financial difficulties, then go and do one of my digital programs. You're going to have far more great results in that than burning yourself out. Because here's the thing, when you are growing a business as a leader, as an entrepreneur, it's not about how you are EQ on paper. It's about how you manage yourself and respond to fear when it creeps up. It's about knowing how to regulate yourself if you feel shame or discombobulated. It's about knowing how to make decisions in your business if nothing is working for you. And it's most importantly knowing how to hold yourself in your power when you're not being validated. You're not here for permission. You're not here to be like everybody else. You are here to be uniquely individual as you. So, what is EQ really? EQ is emotional authority over your leadership energy. It's about making sure that when things aren't going right for you in your business, you go straight to your EQ. You go straight to your EQ. You don't go and find another strategy. You don't go and give someone else your money to fix your problems. You don't need fixing. You need to understand what's going on inside of you. So, how does emotional chaos show up? Overthinking, perfectionism, people pleasing, price panic, launch collapse. EQ is the infrastructure that lets your strategy land. Let me repeat that again. EQ is the infrastructure that lets your strategy land. Because it's not that you have a strategy problem. And believe you me, I could talk about that all day long. It's a stability problem. It's about knowing how to hold yourself when things are not going the way that you want. So, for example, I had one client who had the best copywriters, right? She had the best copywriters, she had the best funnels, but something was not working for her. And what it was is that she couldn't hold herself in her emotions. Her emotions were getting the better of her. So what does she have to do? She had to work on what these emotions are, what they are creating for her unconsciously in the subconscious, and removing them from the root cause, which has then allowed her to instill new emotional calmness so she can respond to situations differently. And actually, the funnel wasn't the problem, it was her emotional drama. Because success is built from performance. Success built from performance is going to collapse. What that means is you're trying to do things to please other people and you're trying to do things the way that everyone else expects you to do it. But your EQ is your superpower. I heard that from someone the other day. And God, is that the truth? So when you are able to be crystal clear in your own EQ, you start to realize that it's not tactics that you need. You just need clarity. And the clarity is knowing how to run your business. So I'm going to say again, what does EQ really mean? EQ basically means is knowing how to feel safe in your power. EQ basically means is knowing how to regulate yourself and to respond to situations that make you feel uncomfortable. EQ is knowing how to hold yourself in your power when you don't even feel like you're having a good day. But that's okay because you're allowed. But a lot of people tell you, go work on your EQ, or I worked on my EQ. But the only way you're going to know where to begin is to have a reading. And that's where my energy EQ frequency readings comes in. If you are ready to understand where your power is leaking, then let's decode your unconscious. Let's regulate your system and rebuild from emotional power. All you got to do is reach out and ask. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Sam Evans, the founder of The Cognitive Switch, and you are here on my YouTube channel, EQ Mastery. I'll see you on the next video.